how many MCs, I'm not even gonna tell you what it's up against. Let's see what's up. It's that kind of night. It's that kind of night.
I'm taking the back, come follow me. On a journey to see a for real MC. The mind tricks the body, body thinks the mind is crazy. Whatever's lazy, when I get the flow, I'm Swayze. I break, you take. Whatever type of shit the naked buckshot make. The incredible, lyrical, and original. You the killable if you wanna take a pull. Whatever I see, I attack. Tack, fuck off my back, black nigga, fuck that. The devil lurks and my heart hurts for the hell. Look into the eyes of a nigga who fell. I hit my head on the concrete to beat the feet. Another dead nigga in the street. Bullseye, direct hit, don't miss. But how many MCs must get this?
That was heavy music. Video music box flashbacks.
Yeah, you're supposed to at least play like 3-4 words of the second verse. You know what I mean? Like maybe like a bar.
Why? Is that a new rule I'm not aware of? Since when?
Well, I mean, you do it all over the place. I guess it's at the discretion or something.
It is at the discretion of the host. You know, I even apologized in the previous round for doing such an atrocity that will not be happening anywhere again. No, listen, we're gonna, like I said, that's a gem. It was an amazing summer. I feel like that when that came out. Heavy rotation on Video Music Box. Shout out to Ralph McDaniels and the whole Video Music Box. That was amazing. But if you know, Ralph McDaniels was kind to both, actually the entire crew. I was gonna say both groups, but the entire boot camp crew. And he heavily played this gem right here. Y'all know it. Soundboy Burial.
Boy head, the shot is flying on the body guy like that. 2 shots dead to him chin. Enemy your friend, fake the funk, I put the junk to an end. Now who the rude boy want come test dog? I find his family, the ID him in the mall. I bet you never thought I bust sled. Surprise, I'm before the 5 blood head, just like you try to test the champion zone. You getting bucked down. Recognize the boot camp, click out of Bucktown. Gun thirsty little bastard, always blasted from the stacks of chocolate of mother casting. You say you're #1 wicked selector. I say you Nani and I wet ya. Keep the bull for I pull this your trigger. Cause you don't wanna test me when I'm tipsy off the liquor like the punk they call McGirt. Got his feelings hurt. Showed his true colors, had to yank up his skirt. Now he's in misery, trying to cop a plea. Led to him head from gun clapper #3. See, lick off a shot, you know dick rider. Lick a shot, put on fire.
Now everybody wanna be.
Man.
Listen, 2 gems, man. Same era. Let's talk about it real quick. Like I said, 1993's debut by Black Moon, Enter the Stage, produced the single we all know and love. Dope video up in the projects. Evil D upside down, scratching. If you was a DJ, you was like, what's going on? Insane. You couldn't help but want to try to do that in your own room and probably break something, like a needle or 2. Up against another classic with another classic video. Epic run on the radio as well. Flex was heavy on this record. Soundboy Burial. I mean, B- again, the magic don't stop. I mean, so what are we talking about, fellas? Chat room, internets, who do you got?
This is some fucked up shit, man. This is some fucked up shit. This whole fucking see, this is the part where the aggression comes out, because it's like, how the fuck are you supposed to choose, man?
And that's what Juice does.
I want to try to relate metaphorically to you. So this afternoon it was me going, oh my God, how are we going to do this? And then you have to deal with the actual answering of the question. But for those that don't know, you got to pick one or the other. Both production by the legendary Beatminers. You can't go wrong by picking either one. But like I said, you got to remember, you have to choose one. Was it the gem that we know how many MCs off that Enter the Stage? Or was it that the SHININ representing that Soundboy Burial?
Yo, you know what's fucked up? I know it's fucked up. I just figured it out. When you vote for one, you try to make it seem like you're shitting on the other, man, and that's
not at all. Yeah, that's the beauty of this particular round, Ike. But I gotta pause on you for a second, if you don't mind, brother. We got a very special guest in the room right now, courtesy of the good Reverend Doctor making a call for the good team over here, Eats, Beats, and Rhymes. We got the man himself. Oh my God, we have the legend himself, the producer, the DJ, the creator of this chapter of hip hop history. We got the man DJ Evil D. DJ Evil D. Oh my God, everybody make some noise, Evil D.
Salute.
What's up, yo?
What's going on, bro?
What up?
Man. I want to say salute to you, sir. Like I said, you know, we big fans over here. Hope you don't find any disrespect in the battle that we taking place with tonight. We just got to put legends against legend, classics against classics. This just happens to be a battle that we have to talk about on a regular basis.
Nah, I understand that.
Appreciate you understanding that. So like I said, if you don't, you know, just for the crowd that's watching right now, everybody in the chat room, shout out to everybody in the chat. I told you we had surprises tonight. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who watches and tunes in every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live here on Twitch, Eats, Beats, and Rhymes. Evil D. I hate to put the reporter type pose on you real quick, but I gotta say, what made you come up with this dark ass sound that we love so much? This heavy sample filter. Just what were you using, for example? What was your early equipment? What was the equipment you were using on each? Was it the same? Was it different?
All right. Enter the stage. I used Kai 612, which is like the mother of the Kai 900, 950 samplers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And to sequence it, I used the Casio RZ1, which I still have to this day.
Oh, shit. Fuck I'm talking about.
Now, when we went to D&D, we had to dump everything into the SP and the 950. You know, with Enter the Stage, it was all loops. It was no chops or nothing. So it was easy to, you know, because at the time, me and Walt didn't know how to use a SP and a 950. But we did the beats already, brought them to the studio, and just basically recreate them with the engineer. So loop this part right here, loop this part right here. That's the chop.
You did it over.
Yeah, we had to do it all over.
Wow.
Now,
that's the difference. That's what's the difference. That's what made New York sound ill.
Yeah. Now, another thing is with Enter the Stage, we started recording that record. Well, first of all, Who Got the Props was recorded at the studio. What's the dude's name? Shlomo Sonnenfeld was the dude.
Okay.
He had a studio downtown Brooklyn. We recorded that record downtown Brooklyn, and Shlomo was a dick. Like me and him, like we argue because I'm telling him how I want the record to sound. He's telling me no, it's gonna sound like this. So believe it or not, I actually mixed. Got the props myself.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? That's me on the boards doing all the stuff I had to do.
That mixing took place at D&D?
No. We mixed that at Shlomo Sonnenfeld spot.
Oh, that's Shlomo. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Now then, when we got that, you know, we got the Who Got the Props blew up. We got the album budget. We went into Calliope. Now Calliope Studios is the studio Native Tongues was recording at. You know what I'm saying? And Calliope was also known, like Sonic was recording there. There was a bunch of people recording at Calliope, but Calliope was a piece of trash studio too. It's just, it was so cheap.
Yep.
Everybody went there.
Okay.
And then we had a fallout with the dude at Calliope. Then I bumped into Premiere going down Broadway. Because Nervous Records was in Times Square. Like if you watch the ball drop in Times Square in New York City.
Right there, yeah, them gold doors.
1501 Broadway, right there, that's where Nervous was at. So I'm walking to Nervous, just left Calliope, I'm never going back. I hate that studio. Turn the fucking corner, Premiere comes through. And Premiere's like, yo, what you getting ready to do? I'm like, yo, I'm about to go look for another studio. He's like, yo, check this out. It's this new studio. Here's a studio. I started recording that. Yo, you should come through there, and we be the only hip hop dudes recording there. And I'm like, hell yeah. And that's how I ended up at D&D.
Because they were doing all that dance stuff back then. That's why there was like no hip hop in. They was
doing mad dance. The last hip hop dudes that recorded at D&D was the Fat Boys.
Oh wow.
And I think Lord Finesse went there to record. As a matter of fact, Lord Finesse went there to record something because he put Premiere up on it.
That's crazy. I remember going. It was all dance records on the wall. Like they like plaques, but like the actual sleeves.
Yeah.
And it was like all of like dance records. I was like, oh wow, this was made here. This was made here. But then it was so hip out in the era that I went. It was like, dance? Really? Here? Like, okay.
Yeah. They was doing all the dance stuff. And what happened was Premier was their #1 client. Beatminerz was their #2 client.
Y'all lived in there.
And yeah, we both lived. I still, where's my keys at? I still have the keys to D&D. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
I still have the keys to
D&D is like what, 38? Wow.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Like 38th Street, 37th Street? What was it?
320 West 37th Street on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
And it's like, so we went into D&D and we mixed into the rest of the Enter the Stage. Part of the reason the album sounds the way it sounds was because Live P was a piece of shit studio.
Yeah.
But that
Crazy.
added on to the sound and the grittiness.
The grittiness
So,
of
I wasn't mad at that.
In the chat tonight, people literally brought up that in the chat tonight, like about the mix. Like, well, I wish I knew like why the mix sounds like it's like in different studios, and like you're literally saying it was.
And I said exactly what you just said, as far as it being a significant part of that sound like that in New York. That was it for me personally.
Yeah, I'll tell you like this: Buck 'em Down. How many MCs and Buck 'em Down? Yeah, Buck 'em Down was fully recorded at D&D. Everything else was recorded at Calliope, and who got the props was at Slow-Mo's studio. Now, when we went to we did the album and everything. Me and Walt went when I finally got my first advance. We went to Sam Ash and just give me that, give me this, give me that. Now, here's something that's mad crazy. If you used to watch Love and Hip Hop, Peter Gunn's baby moms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tara,
yeah.
Yeah. She's the one that sold me my equipment. She's working Sam Ash.
And it's Times Square.
That's how me and her know each other, y'all.
Oh,
That's crazy. I think that Sam Ash is still there, but it moved, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
right?
they moved it. Yeah. But it's like
back then, it was like across the street from each other with different like buildings. It was like it was crazy.
Yeah, and it's funny because they had Manny's and all that. Sam Ash owned all that.
Oh, I didn't know that. They did have
They bought Manny's and they bought the other spots and just was like, yo, that whole block was Sam Ash. Once we got the SP and the 950 cranked out, we went into do Smith and Wesson, the Shinin.
Can I ask you one question real quick before that? So once you got into D&D with the S950 and all of that, does that mean that the remixes that were later on for the Black Moon album for like I Got You Open and Buck 'em Down, did that get done at D&D or was that already beforehand something in Stash?
No, that was done at D&D. Like I was like, Enter the Stage, we did here this is actually my crib. We did it here at my crib. I hear Rhymes was written right here. This is my kitchen table I'm at. I here at the kitchen table, because the kitchen is the lab. You know what I'm saying? I would turn the cameras around, but it's messy. I got mad equipment around and everything.
Good. It's the kitchen.
But
you're cooking that thing up.
But exactly. Now these two rooms have always been the music rooms. And Enter the Stage, we did the pre-production here. When the Shining came along, we did Bucktown, Let's Get It On. Bucktown, Let's Get It On. Like it was 2 other records we did. And Nothing Moved But the Money, which didn't make it to the album. We did those here. Yeah, the white label. We did those here. Everything else was done at D&D. You know what I'm saying? And now once we got our SP and the 950, it was crazy.
It wasn't recognized?
No, it wasn't recognized.
Hey, I got a question for you, man. So I'm thinking, how many MCs video? You're upside down scratching on the turntable, man. Whose idea was that? Because you did that.
That's legendary.
Do that. DJ Scan, he's not here today with us. He was trying to do it. It was like that was like next level. That video was sick. That's one video I remember that was like one of y'all dopest joints.
No, dude, there's a lot of DJs in the room, like a lot of DJs in this room, and some that aren't here tonight. We were just talking about that. Like that was a legendary stance, pose, whatever you want. Like we was just like, and we were saying we tried to do it at home, and I broke a lot of needles.
Now I'll put you up on how that came about. What happened was before Black Moon, we got our deal and everything. I wanted to, I'm a DJ. And I want to be in the battles, so I'm practicing for battles. I'm getting ready to go to war. And the year we got signed, which was 1992, I put together the ill battle set because I was coming home with that title. Because my cousin is DJ Flamboyant, and he had won the battle previous years. What year he won? I think 89.
Which battle are we talking about?
He won the DMC battle.
Oh, DMC, okay.
And
New Music Seminar or something.
Nah.
Yeah, what year was this? Because
I got videos. I'm gonna look it up.
I think either 89 or 90. He had won. But he won the United States belt, not the world belt.
Okay.
He won the United States belt. Gotcha. So I was like, yo, you know what?
I'm in there.
I'm practicing, I'm practicing my cuts and everything. I gotta do something incredible. So we got the record deal. When we got the record deal, I was like, yo, you know what? That'd be kind of whack for me. Because to do the battle and win the battle and then be like Evil D, Black Moon. And I said, yo, I'll be taking the place of somebody who could take that to another level.
Fair enough.
Because I always was like, yo, I know I'm gonna make some dope hip hop. I didn't know that it would be classic or whatever. I just knew I had something dope on my hands. And I said, yo, when we make this album, it's gonna do what it do in New York. Like I wasn't even thinking about outside of New York. I was like, yeah, New York, because at 3 a.m. when we out there wilding, playing slow jams, it's gonna be our soundtrack. But so I set up my routine, whatever, and it was like, yo, Buckshot was like, yo, what was that routine you was gonna do for the DJ battle? And I said, oh, well, this, that, and the third, and I said, and then for the finale, I said, yo, I was gonna have my mans hold me up, but being that we got the wall here, I'm gonna lean on the wall. Leaned on the wall. That was my next question. That was one of my next questions. Like, what are you gonna stand on the stage? Like, how was you gonna? But your man was gonna pause. Your man was gonna be like, one of my boys was gonna hold me up.
What?
And I was gonna lean up, and because it's just DJing with one hand. Because so my boy was gonna hold me up, and I would just DJ with one hand. So instead of he wasn't there to hold me up, and I was sitting on the floor anyway. I leaned up on the wall and was bringing the record back. The director of the video was just recording some stuff, some B-roll, and he looked at that and said, "Yo." So at the end of the video, he was like, "Yo, what you think if I edit that in?" I was like, "Nah, don't do that." Don't do that.
What was your hesitation?
I was like, nah, I said, because I don't want to, because what's going to happen is I'm going to have to run around and do that. And it's bad enough for the battle. It was mad crazy, but then I said, you know what? Nah, put it in because, yo, man, cats ain't respecting the DJ like that. And they put it in the video, and I actually went around and was doing that. And that shit was dope until one day I almost bust my ass and I say, I'm done. That's it.
So
I did it enough.
You did it.
So it's safe to say that you can't do that now.
I could, but I'll probably break my neck. Because I'm a little bit heavier than I was back then. So I'll probably break my neck doing it.
Yo, Evil D, we have a quick question for you. So I don't know if the Good Rev got to explain to you what we do here. So like I said, we take these albums, we compare notes from each particular album. You happen to join us on round number 2 at the moment, where we asked, we'd love to get your opinion on it. Again, you don't have to answer, but I just want to see what you think about it. We decided to put how many MCs, since we were just speaking on it, versus Soundboy Barry. Who do you got?
Wow. Well, okay, here's the thing, right?
You talking about his babies.
It don't matter even if you make the record. Even if you make the record, you still stole. I love it.
And see,
no,
it's not. I'm gonna tell you why it's not fair.
Thank you.
Because
thank you.
I'm talking about from my album's point of view. Because Enter the Stage is super dope and everything, but Enter the Stage, I was still learning. When the Shining came, I already went on tour. I already learned how to manipulate the SP like a madman and to manipulate the 950 like a madman. So I love the Shining more than I love Enter the Stage.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Plus, you gotta understand.
That was different.
From Enter the Stage, I hear all the mistakes I made on Enter the Stage when I listen to it. The mistakes y'all don't notice, I notice.
And that bothers you to this day, every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
To this day. But I will never Enter the Stage is, let me explain to you, like Enter the Stage, the reason why we're talking right now. Enter the Stage is the reason why there is a Shining. There's a reason. That's the reason why there's a Duck Down. That's the reason why there's a Boot Camp Click.
Yep.
Enter the Stage caused all that.
The connection.
Yeah.
It's connected, right.
Now, as a DJ, I get more of a reaction when I play. I like the suspense. That's why I just.
You bring down his DJ back now.
But I'm gonna tell you once again why it happens. When I play How Many MCs, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's me.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, Evil D played his record. But I think regular DJs get more of a reaction with the Smith & Wesson joint, with Soundboy Burial. Like Soundboy Burial is a tougher record, and it's a bigger record than How Many MCs.
This is true, and I gotta be honest with you, Evil D. I love your answer, but I see you must be watching the show on a regular basis because I feel like you're not giving me a direct answer. But what did you choose?
Listen,
all my guys love to dance around here, and I don't see you as a dancing kind of man. So I love to know. This DJs would play this one. Some DJs would catch that one.
Hey, Jules.
You got
Hey, Jules.
No, but that's what I said. I said me wise, yo, I'm rocking with Soundboy Burial.
You were cul-de-sac.
I'm rocking with Soundboy Burial. But when I DJ, people want to hear How Many MCs more than Soundboy Burial. But that's because it's me.
It's different kind of people.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's a different hit. I think, like as I said, for me, what really stood out in that How Many MCs is you DJing upside down.
Yeah.
And when everybody saw that, they were like, "What the hell is this?" Because I don't think nobody was doing that at that particular point in time.
So because of that makes your choice.
Oh, you asking Bree? Well, listen,
no. Oh, me? Oh, well, no. Well, it was a dope song, but I think it really kind of showcased what New York City was at that time, what it was like. It was like project buildings. It was like the view of the city. And then you see Evil D. I don't know if it was like you were outside somewhere, and it seemed like you were in the video and you were up against the wall. I was like, damn, this was different.
Yeah, we was on the 8th floor balcony.
Okay, yeah. So it was a different type of feel. It was New York at that time.
Yeah, New York. I understand that was like 93. New York was bananas still.
Yeah.
New York wasn't the tourist attraction that it is today.
It wasn't gentrified as much. Yeah,
exactly. So
even like you see, even by Nervous Records down in that area, Times Square wasn't Disney World yet.
Nah, Times Square was the real deal. Like Times Square.
It turned into Disney World, but at the beginning, for a long time, it definitely was.
I remember going through Times Square beating up bootleg dudes. That was pre-Disney. We would come through with the bats and just, we walk up the tables. We not even asking if you got our stuff. Bang, 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 bang.
Damn.
And they got the message. Like you couldn't find a Black Moon record on a bootleg tape.
Yo, I have to say sorry for my African brothers that did that. On
behalf of the African segment, that's what you're talking about?
I'm African, so I had no part to that.
Yo.
Evil D, listen, but you're more than welcome to hang out as much as you like. Like I said, I just want to go around the room. I said, if you don't mind, to find out what everybody got the courage to answer these questions in front of you for this particular round. But if you want to hang out, like I said, we got 3 more rounds of this. But if you got to go, I understand as well.
Hang on for a sec.
All right, cool. All right, we here. All right, so listen, Bree's the first one to step up right now with Evil D in the room. He put how many MCs. I need to know from the rest of the room, when we're talking to SHININ, when we're talking Enter the Stage, how many MCs versus Soundboy Burial, who do you got? Chat room, I know there was a poll. We're going to get to the answer. Pause. We're going to get to the answer on that poll in a second. But I need to know from you guys in the room right now, who do you got?
Yeah, I'll vote. I still think it's fucked up that you put these two records against each other, but I'm gonna go with how many MCs, because Evil D, just the way that record starts from that first fucking kick every single time. And I try to, you know what I mean? I get from the Street FM, you know what I mean? And even when I play the record on the radio show, I'll be like, damn, did I play this too many times? Because I feel like I play it all the time because I love listening to that record, you know what I mean? So how many MCs for me?
Fair enough. Thank you. I'm not scared to put his vote down, stood up for it. Glad to see that, you know, we got the man himself in the room to okay that vote. Anybody else want to get okayed? But sir,
my vote is for Soundboy Burial. You know,
I know you, Triples.
I love the original. You know, what's the last week we was talking about the remix?
Triple C brought the En Vogue remix version, which I think is called
my God.
version or something like that.
We didn't do that. Steel did that.
Hold up.
Whoa, exclusive. It's EBR exclusive. Hold up.
Oh.
It says, well, does it say Beat Miners remix? I don't know if it does say Beat Miners.
Steel did that remix.
It is a Beat Miners remix. Can we pause for a second? And E,
what's up?
Can I ask you how much that record used to tear up the tunnel?
The original.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Both of them.
I used to go to the tunnel Dolo. Yo, I go everywhere Dolo. Now, y'all understand? Like, I'm like one of the humblest cats you could ever meet.
Indeed.
But it's because I was one of the wildest cats that you could ever meet. So I go everywhere Dolo. I go to the tunnel by myself. Go to the tunnel, and I would just chill, like, you know, walk around, hang out with peoples, you know. And I would go because I wanted to see what was rocking, you know what I'm saying, in the club. Right. And like it will always bug me out when something I touched would hit that turntable.
That one specifically. I went to the tunnel myself. I had a conversation with someone recently. I don't know how my little ass got away with that, but I've got to witness that record in the tunnel in that era, and that used to go.
I seen people get whooped out. Soundboy Burial. I seen people scream. I've probably seen people die to that record.
Oh my God!
Like that record right there, like that right there, like, you know. And Mr. Walt, credit Mr. Walt, because Mr. Walt, he did the Soundboy Burial beat, and he did How Many MCs.
Okay.
So let's give Mr. Walt his credit.
Wow.
Yeah. Salute to Mr. Walt.
You know what I'm saying? On How Many MCs, I did the scratches. You know what I'm saying? And I think I added something to it, but it wasn't nothing big. It was something little. Now, Soundboy Burial, what did I add to it? The wind.
I peeped that today. I started to pay attention to the background. I'm like, you know, I never peeped the wind. There's kind of like a wind thing going on in the background.
I added the wind, and the Jamaican speaking.
Jamaican. So that Jamaican speaker, is it a sample or an actual person that came in and recorded that?
That's a sample. That's Kanye used it.
On the clip.
Yeah, that's a record. But back
I feel like that same voice was on Enter the Stage. Isn't that like isn't that same
in the beginning of Powerful Impact?
Yeah, at the very beginning. So that's not an actual guy. That's an actual sample.
Nah, that was a record. That was a dub. That was a dub. A Sound Clash record I had.
Do we know the gentleman's name, or do we not give that out? Like
I forgot. I would give it out. I forgot his name.
Only his voice is insane.
That's an old reggae artist, isn't it?
Yeah, is it Junior Beagle? I think. No, not Lee Scratch Perry. God rest. Lee Scratch Perry. Shit, Lee Scratch Perry sued me, but that's a different story. Lee Scratch Perry sued me for the Dilated People's record I did.
Which one?
Oh shit, I forgot the name of the Dilated record.
Oh, a Dilated record. Wait, I know it was a remix you probably did, right? It was
original.
Did a battle on that.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut too much time.
Yeah, like that was damn, I forgot the dude's name.
But it's a popular song though. I think where you got it from, because I heard that before.
Yeah, it's actually an album with a bunch of cuts on it, and dude is just coming in between, you know, talking his shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, I'm a big fan. Back in the days, I was a big fan of the reggae joints. Cause like even with Blacksmith and Wesson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's from, that I sampled that off of VCR tape. That was from the Sound Clash in Jamaica.
That song was wild.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the end, like, you know, but that was also the time in music where, well, I'm not even gonna say it because I still do stuff like that to this day. Yo, I just got stuff from where I got it from. Yeah. Like Powerful Impact was a bunch of hip hop records I listened to. Okay. That's what that was. And I just took them and just chopped them up. Just to get a rep gang star. The Stepper. Kenny Dope. I Ain't No Joke. And Scenario.
The part was what, like the drums or like a break or what?
What happened?
The Kenny Dope part. I'm trying to figure out that part. What
that was the and then the doom doom doom, the bass line. That's just to get a rep chopped in half. Like the reason I did the record like that was to show cats, yo, y'all trying to find that beat, y'all trying to find that red joint. I'm making records with your records in front of your face. Ooh. like I was saying, yo, I'm that nice. I'll take your record and flip it better.
Damn. Crazy.
Just like with the Buck 'Em Down remix.
Okay.
The Buck 'Em Down remix is a DJ record, because what happened was when we went to do the remix back in the days, you had to lock up. You know, you had SMPTE on. You had this thing called SMPTE. Yeah. Which would lock the SP to 950 in sync with the tape. So you know what happened was the digital code on from Calliope fucked it up. They fucked something up, and Calliope fucked because we started the recording in Calliope, and then we went to D&D. That's right, because it was recorded at both places. Because I said before it was recorded at D&D. It was recorded at both places. When we went to do the remix, it was not locking up. So I was like, yo, what I'm gonna do with this record is, instead of sitting here trying to sample, I'm gonna do it like I used to do back in the days. I'm gonna sit there and blend everything together. That whole record is me blending Donald Byrd Wind Parade.
That is fucking
and doing punch-ins and all that. And
so how you adding the drums to land? Because that record
drums was from the original record. We just left those drums in, and I blended everything to those drums.
Evil D, how long did it take you to do that? To make that remix?
Maybe an hour and a half.
Okay.
He DJs for real. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't even making it. That ain't nothing. But I'm saying,
listen to the whole. Like, think about it. Back then, what sampler was sampling that long?
No.
I was gonna ask you about this record. I just don't want to keep dragging on, but I'm glad you brought it up. And I was gonna ask you, like, yo, what's up with that remix? Does it sound like if it was a reggae artist at the time who used, I think, just lifted y'all instrumental? Was it Mega Man? No, who was it? Was it Mega Banton?
Oh, you talking about the Barry White?
Yeah, but that's a different record. My bad. I got you.
I know you're talking about. Nah, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Salam did that remix, and we just at the same time we both had the same idea.
It's like the
Salam is my man's, and Salam is not a biter, and I damn sure ain't a biter. So
it was just so both of y'all doing that.
When the remix dropped, me and Salam looked at each other like. But then you gotta understand, Allow Scratch flipped that Barry White too.
Oh, on and the first, it was the first one.
Yeah.
Where's My Homies? That one?
Yeah, Where's My Homies?
That's it.
That's Barry White.
Oh wow.
And then, but Kane flipped it first.
I don't hear it till you tell me. I'm like, oh shit, he's right.
Like at the end of the day, that remix that record right there, Buck always wanted to rhyme off that Barry White record. And I was saying, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Nah. Cause we supposed to use that for Enter the Stage. And I wouldn't loop it up.
Oh.
I was like, we already got 2 records where we flipped other people's beats. Let's not make this into a thing because we are the beat monsters.
Right.
Mhm.
And I was like, yo, like me and Walt was adamant about it. And what happened was, yo, like I'm with Buck every day at the time because we was running around doing shows and radio and everything. And every day Buck would be like, yo, E, that Barry White, that Barry White, that Barry White. So what I used to do back in the days when I wanted to sample something, I would take my Walkman. That's how, damn, old. Take my Walkman, and I had a 5-minute cassette. I put the whole record on both sides, and that's all I listened to that whole day. And by the time I got in front of my equipment, yo, that whole record is me chopping up Barry White. Only thing it's not from the Barry White record is the hi-hat. The hi-hat is the OJ's.
You even like dug for the hi-hat. You didn't even just use any old hi-hat. You had to make sure it was. That's crazy, bro.
Like, yo, this record thing, like, yo, man, this is like me and my brother, we worked in record stores, we DJ'd.
Big Dynasty, I remember.
Like, no, I was at my brother was at
your brother worked at Music Dynasty, I think, in the
Music Factory.
Yeah, Music Factory, my bad.
Yeah.
On the Coliseum block.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing him. I mean, we're from the same era, bro. Like I remember seeing him in that store, and he just knew his shit. I remember he was just a guy that knew his shit.
Yeah.
I mean, but house, hip hop, he knew his reggae, like about everything in there.
And I was doing that at first at the store around here. We had a store in Bushwick. You know what I'm saying? And then when that store closed, I ended up working at Beat Street.
Yeah,
downtown Brooklyn.
You was the cat DJ Scratch was scared of, yo.
Nah, Scratch wasn't scared of me. I was scared of him. Yo, I was in my store doing a routine. This girl came in. I'm like, oh, word, shorty, what's up? So I'm trying to impress her. I'm cutting up third bass, stepping to the AM. Bang, 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 bang. I said, yo, what you doing? She said, I'm waiting for my friend. I said, oh, okay. Well, yo, why you waiting for your friend? Yo, check me out while I'm rocking, yo. She said, oh, that's dope. I said, dope? Nah, I'm nice. He said, yo, okay. She said, here come my friend now. And Scratch walks in. I said, oh, I'm out. Like Scratch, Scratch is a dude that when he DJs, like, he makes you want to go home and practice. Because you go, damn, I need to, where does he get those tricks and toys and stuff? And, you know, you find yourself going home and practice. Jazzy Jeff, same thing. Kid Capri, same thing.
Listen, we literally just did a DJ Scratch singles battle, I believe.
Yeah, last week.
Last week. We
take
like all the guys had a chance to defend one record. It's a little different in this game, but it's similar. But like I said, they had to stand by one record, and they had to stand by that record the entire round, March Madness style, and eventually end up with the 2 records. And it was all DJs. The only production from 1990 to the year 2000, a 10-year span. It was kind of dope. We're gonna drop that episode soon, but yeah. This one we're gonna drop ASAP. We're straight to edit.
Yo, but like, it's like DJ wise. I tell people, man, there's still some dope DJs out there that's doing it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I know I'm messing up your whole timeline and everything right now. My bad.
Nah, you good.
You are the timeline. Don't even worry about that. You are the timeline. Say less. Matter of fact, listen. If nobody else is scared to answer, I see everybody hiding behind Evil D. You gotta put some. See the last one to put an answer up.
Okay,
we got Evil D voting for Soundboy Burial. We got Triple C voting for Soundboy Burial. Cool Breeze voting for How Many MCs. Ike Infamous voting for How Many MCs. That leaves the Good Reverend Doctor and Mastermind 24K. Which one do you want to step up first?
Hot damn.
That's not the name of the record. Mastermind, speak on it, God. Which one you represent DMV tonight? I mean, what's the DMV thinking?
You had a long time to think.
Too long. We had a lot of
I gotta go with Soundboy Burial.
Oh, Good Reverend stepping up. Oh, damn.
Hey,
I already
it's a
know why.
win-win. It's a win-win for me, regardless. So
I'm saying,
Regardless.
Pick one, Master.
Because
I know for a fact the good Reverend Doctor loves that song because I had to mention I've been on trains in New York City with him in his boombox, and that song would blare out of that fucking boombox while we're on the train. It was a thing. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So I asked him, listen, your last brother, what's going on? You need me to call you out? Do I need to lay the rules down? Because if you want, I'm trying to be nice because we got a guest in the house. But who do you got?
Let's do it again. Repeat that, Joy.
Listen, I'm gonna let you know right now, your vote don't matter. Your vote don't mean shit right here. Mathematically, even if you were gonna add on to the board, it don't matter. But just to be clear, when we asked the question, how many MCs off that Enter the Stage versus Soundboy Burial off that SHININ, Evil D participating in the vote tonight, made sure that the vote went one other direction. We got Soundboy Burial rounding up round number 2, putting